And if quiet dignity and defiance do not cut it alone, consider making an important phone call.
Thank you for calling the Election Protection Hotline. For English, press 1. For Spanish, press 2. For Arabic, press 3. For Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Bengali, Urdu, Hindi, or Tagalog, press 4.
That is the first thing you will hear if you call 866-OUR-VOTE, the Election Protection Hotline. It was created as a sort of break glass in case of emergency resource for voters after the botched election train wreck of the year 2000. It was created to, quote, ensure that all voters have the opportunity to participate in the political process. The basic idea is that if you need help or if you see something that concerns you when it comes to voting, you call the hotline. You call 866-OUR-VOTE. You get patched into their army of lawyers who are fielding calls and responding in real time. You get a real live person who knows what they're talking about. Ultimately, this huge effort creates a sort of heat map for potential trouble around the country around election time. In the 20-year history of 866-OUR-VOTE, this year's is the largest election protection program they have ever mounted. Joining us now is Kristen Clark. She's president and executive director of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law. They run the National Election Protection Hotline. Again, it's 866-OUR-VOTE. Ms. Clark, it's an honor to have you with us tonight. Thanks for taking time.
Thanks for having me, Rachel.
So much is different about this year, not least that nearly 100 million Americans have already cast their ballots. Does that mean that the hotline and what you've been hearing at the Lawyers Committee, that those calls and that sort of view of the voting system started earlier and has given you a better view early on about how things are going this year?
It's been a remarkable year, and in large part because of the unprecedented barriers and challenges that voters face this season. You noted that we were started in 2000 after Bush v. Gore, and in the 2 decades that we've been leading this program, this has definitely been our most intense year ever. We have increased the size of legal volunteers who support the program from 4,000 to over 42,000.
Wow.
And just to give you kind of a snapshot of the intensity of traffic that we take on, in 2016, we had roughly 120,000 calls during the entire year. In the month of October alone, we've taken in 135,000 calls. And these are people who are struggling with issues like, I requested my absentee ballot weeks ago. Here we are close to Election Day. What do I do? Or I dropped my ballot in the mail, but I learned that there's a court ruling that has now moved the deadline back up earlier. What do I do? Or I'm home and trying to figure out how do you get a ballot notarized or witnessed by 2 people in the middle of a pandemic. And so we've got an incredible army of legal volunteers who work day and night, 7 days a week to help voters overcome these issues and challenges. And we will do this all day tomorrow and beyond until every vote is counted.